Here are my top 10 games of 2022. I can't believe the end of the year is already here. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So here are 10 games that I thoroughly enjoyed throughout the year for numerous reasons and whatnot. First up, we have Evil Dead the game. I actually really love Evil Dead. I think it's been a fantastic series of movies and a TV show and an expanded lore, and to see it come alive in this like asymmetrical multiplayer game is really cool. They got all of the key kind of characters, they got all the style, they got all the fun, the gore, the intensity. They've added content to it. It looks visually quite impressive. I had a lot of fun playing this. I had a lot of fun playing it with random people. I had a lot of fun playing it with some pals. It was a really good time and a fun experience that I enjoyed thoroughly this year. And a surprise one at that. This is Ghostwire Tokyo. So this one is all about kind of an open world exploration where you unlock different shadowy chapters or clouded areas of the world while blasting magical spells out of your hands. There's a bit of a mystery element to it, and what I really liked about this game is that it was very different in terms of the world, the setting, and the concepts at play. I also liked that this was a standalone game. It didn't feel like they were trying to build off into some large-scale thing. This was a game that had a key focus, a key story, and it gave itself a nice sense of conclusion, which was just awesome. And I also really liked how it played. You were shooting fun little blasts, it had intense kind of magical actions to it, and it was just sort of a somber, weird kind of world. Quirky, different, adventurous, and to me quite fun. I just found this one to be a very strange experience for me. This is Stray, where you play as a cat for a few hours moving through this real dystopian cyberpunk-esque world where there's robots and this sort of weird sense of mystery as to what happened. You're a very overly determined cat that can somehow do crazy things, but it's just sort of a fun, soft, sweet sort of experience that really does look at like humanity and the connections we make and the robots that might try to emulate what we put together. It's got a deep, again, sense of mystery as to like what happened, what's going on, and it's just a nice, easygoing time. You're just a cat moving around doing cat things, having a relaxed experience, and I just really did enjoy this nice little slice of a world. It wasn't anything too extended, too long, and it was just a short, sweet, well-done story that was fun to play. This is LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. So this is a nice dip of nostalgia mixed with the entirety of the Star Wars movies, all the important ones, the prequels, the original trilogy, the sequels, and no matter what part of Star Wars you love, there's something here for everyone. It gives you kind of like best of moments from the different trilogies. It lets you unlock hundreds of characters, enjoy a visually stunning world and or universe, because you're able to not only run around on foot like you're used to doing, you can go out into space and adventure. It really was such a perfect take on Star Wars. And it's just an absolute pleasure that this thing even exists and that they were able to nail it this well. So much heart and love went into this game, and you can really see it as you play it. Such a great experience this one was. This is Elden Ring. So yeah, I've definitely had my fill of sorrows and damage done by running through this game and enjoying the crazy bosses and stuff that go on. But over time, as they've done updates and you're able to add people into your world, I really pushed hard to finish this game, like by myself, all of it, and I streamed it all, and it was tiring and exhausting. But I do appreciate the world, the sense of exploration, the struggle of building up a class. The recently added arena is really cool. I do like the messed up enemies, the weird sense of world and doom and gloom that's present, the monstrously trialing dungeons, the crazy bosses. When you do get to a point where you are quite powerful and then you meet even more intensive bosses that slap you down, it's interesting. This is Horizon Forbidden West, the second story of Aloy, as she heads to a more, I don't know what you would say, tropical type of environment where you dive deeper into the mystery of the world and figure out what exactly is going on with all of the machines. It expands the lore in interesting ways. It continues to develop this character. It provides many unique and exciting scenarios with gorgeous environments, stunning backdrops, epic moments of action and intensity, wild bosses. And again, it has a nice way of kind of like continuing the world, expanding upon the lore of the world, and telling a story that really does build upon what came before, feeling familiar while also treading through new ground, which I thought was really interesting and exciting in terms of gameplay, storytelling, and visual design. Very well put together. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. And it's basically a successor to Turtles in Time, which is one of my all-time favorite games. It is a beautiful, brawling game, a blast to play alone or with others in co-op, and it is just such a delightful turtle kick in time. I was completely blown away by this. I kind of was like, oh wow, this looks good, and I didn't expect it to be this good. Like, it looks absolutely fantastic. It is the exact sequel that I have been sitting here kind of, I don't know if waiting for is the right word, but maybe hoping for someday appearing. Wow, they absolutely nailed this brawling game. It was so fun to play. It is so fun to still go back and play a match or two through some levels. It really does hit the mark of that nostalgia and does something new with it, which was perfect. This is A Plague Tale Requiem, the second story for Amicia and Hugo. So these two are dealing with rats, lots and lots and lots and lots of rats. It's a really intense story, an emotive story that takes you through some beautiful moments that are calm, moments that are dark, moments that are kind of terrifying as you run away from rats. It's really intensive game that does build upon the concepts that came before, expands the narrative, the scope of the adventure. You get to visit some stunning locations, and it's just a very beautiful game, not only from the sense of like, hey, the world looks really, really good, but also those smaller, calmer moments that come together throughout the narrative, mixed in with action, surprises, twists, and just something that really was a great adventure that went further than I had really anticipated it going. This is God of War, Ragnarok. Kratos is back. Ragnarok is coming. There's a prophecy. He's here with the boy once again, who's also maturing. The two of them go on one epic adventure that continues this particular mythology and basically gives itself a nice sense of closure to this particular arc for the character of Kratos, the God of War. And Thor is in it, which is pretty cool. So this is a lengthy, very well done story that offers intense combat. It feels very, very similar to the game that it is acting as a direct sequel to. It has splashy combat, intense moments, and like I said, it is just one chunky experience that you can absolutely just waste hours rolling through if you want to. And yeah, very, very well done game. Technically impressive, visually really quite nice, and story-wise, very, very well done. An excellent sequel. This is Pentiment, the game that came out of nowhere and absolutely blew my mind. I spent nearly 20 hours playing this game, and it didn't even feel like a little bit of that. It's like basically playing a book where you are making choices that completely change the story. I was talking with friends afterwards to see what choices they made, and it was just really interesting to see how much the stories varied. It is visually quite beautiful, it is unique as a game, and it came out of completely nowhere to blow my mind. Like, seriously, it might be an oddball pick, whatever, doesn't matter. This game just completely surprised me, because I didn't even know if I would be into this particular style. I didn't know I would be this into the story. I didn't know I would be this excited and enjoyed and surprised the whole way through. It's murder mysteries. It's this old time period. It is such a great game with so many neat twists. And that's my top 10 for 2022.